3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
All right, we are into the after show now. This is the part of the show where, oh, good Lord, we have no idea what's going to happen, do we?
Not really.
Jim Kinsey, Michelle Cleland. By the way, Michelle, I got an email from somebody that says, I really enjoy the after show, and but, Michelle Sereno sounds a lot different on that than she does on TV.
Oops, wrong Michelle.
Wrong Michelle. I pointed that out. He went, oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
Oh, yeah. I don't have the tiara.
That's right.
That's right.
She called herself like the shooting goddess or something like that. And she has a bedazzled headphones or shooting buffs. So, why not, right?
Oh, you got to.
Yeah, you got to have fun with it.
That's right.
That's what it's about. Exactly right. So I tell you what, before we go into a lot of other things, we do have a couple of callers here we should at least say hello to. Let's start off with Kevin. He's in Texarkana, Arkansas, as opposed to Texas. Kevin, how you doing, man?
Doing fine. How you doing, sir?
Well, we are great. We're having fun today. So I understand that you are a 1911 guy.
Yes, sir. When I was, I went into service when I was 17 years old. We were taught to use the 1911 Colt, and we had to, as you know, learn how to tear it down, put it back together, blindfolded in the dark. It's one of the safest guns when you're carrying and you come up on the draw, the thumb safety. It just makes it so easy. Mm-hmm. I carry a 1911, 1991 A1 Colt. Has a competition trigger, competition hammer, and I've got the competition 3.5-inch barrel and night sights on it. It's one of the sweetest guns that I've ever known. It's the only thing I'll ever carry.
How long have you been carrying a 1911?
Oh, let's see. I think carrying one licensed for as long as Arkansas has had their carry permits.
I noticed that you qualified with the licenses, so I may have been carrying it before that, but we don't talk about those things.
No, sir.
All right, let me ask you a question now. Being a 1911 guy, have you had the experience of taking somebody out to the range to have them shoot your 1911 when they've not shot one before?
My wife, matter of fact, that's the gun I broke her in on to do her qualifications with for her license.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And people say, well, that 1911, that's too big, that's too powerful for a woman to shoot.
Everybody says it's too big, it's too heavy, but she's kind of like me. If it doesn't fit your hand, it's just not right. Mm-hmm. And these little composite guns, the Glocks and things, not knocking them, they're not made to fit your hand like a single stack gun.
Man, that sounds like a true 1911 lover right there. Yeah, and I agree. I just love the way they feel. And I'll tell you, I put the thin grips on it, and I love the feel with the thin, side plates or grips or scales are actually called. I love that. So that's pretty cool. So your wife was able to shoot it well and qualify with it?
Oh, yeah. She loved it.
There you go. Well, look, I appreciate the call, Kevin. Thank you, sir. As long as we're on a roll here, let's talk to Jim in Waco, Texas. We'll keep it in that part of the world. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
We are well. What's the deal? I see a note here about something about 2 safes. What's that about?
Two safes. I have the luckiest 19-year-old son in the world, and when he's inherited some. When extended family members found out he's big into shoes, they started emptying their closets. I had to get another safe. So,
okay.
And most of them aren't real, fabulous firearms. Although thrown in the mix of one that he inherited with a family history going back to at least the turn of the last century is 1800-ish Colt Single Action Army. 1880s. Wow. Beautiful 45 long Colt. He's in college, and another reason is I'm starting to pass over a couple of rifles and shotguns that I inherited that are extremely right-handed, and I have Euroflicks and I'm left-handed. And so I'm starting to buy my own left-handed rifles and shotguns and moving those on to him. So it's just expanding the storage.
Well, now, of course, handguns you can shoot either way. But if I'm right-handed and left-eye dominant, so I shoot handguns right-handed and long guns left-handed, which always gives me a built-in alibi, you know. The reason I missed that is because I'm all messed up here.
Yeah, I can't dig change out of my pocket with my right hand. That's
left-handed, right? That's really left-handed.
So, right.
So how'd you get started on 1911s?
Well, like the previous gentleman, I'm old enough so when I started in the service, the first issue handguns were 1911s. And I just love them. I love them for all the same reasons everybody else talked to. They're smooth, the trigger. I have a 1991 A1 with a reworked trigger and a polished throat. And I just love it. And we put more rounds through that. I only have one progressive press in my garage, and it's the 45 ACP. I just do that much. And I'm also a history nut. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you fire a couple magazines through a 1911, particularly in 45 ACP, you can in fact hear the Star Spangled Banner playing. It's that kind of. I get that feeling. I just like the history. I like the feel of them. They're just something unique. And the trigger, you're right. The triggers are awesome. So.
I love it. That is a great line. If you listen carefully, you can hear the Star Spangled Banner go off when you shoot 1911. I'm going to steal that one. Just consider that one stolen right there, my friend.
It's yours. Use it all you want.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. That is very cool.
That's Jimmy Two Safes from Waco, Texas.
That's right, Jimmy Two Safes.
How cool.
Oh, man. Well, there's just something about them, isn't it? It's just...
Well, we might be overlooking a little bit, too. I mean, we all know that the awesome aspects of the 1911, but a lot of people don't like 45, and can you tell where I'm going?
They're so sweet and 9.
Mm-hmm. And 380 even now, right?
Yeah, you can get the little shrunk down. Honey, I Shrunk the Pistol version from was it Browning has the little 1911 in 380?
Yeah, use the Bic pen spring for recoil spring.
Yeah, right. and also, who the heck was it? Springfield. Let me see. Let me make sure it's on the website before I talk about it. Okay. You know what I'm talking about, Michelle?
I do.
Okay. Then if you know about it, okay, there it is. It's on the website. Yeah. Oh, I almost screwed up. Oh my God, we can't talk about that yet. Okay. It's called the 911. Yes. 911.
That's right.
It is a 1911 shrunk down shooting a 380. Kind of a. I talked about it. I think we talked about it last week. It's kind of a SIG. Was it 238? Mm-hmm. Kind of like
in the
that
380? Mm-hmm.
In 380, which is a delightful pistol, just a wonderful little pistol to shoot. I have not shot the 911 yet. We should be getting one in this week. And by the way, that's not the one we're going to be announcing tomorrow.
Backpedal time.
It's not. No, it's different gun, different company.
Okay.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a gun. She's admitted it's a gun now. It was a firearm a while ago. Now it's a gun.
It's a gun. It's a firearm. Okay. It's a different firearm.
Okay, that rules out muskets. Muzzle loaders are out of the question.
That's right. Yep, it's a 47 caliber. So it's
oh gosh,
just going a little bit different there. You can shoot 45s in it, but they're just a loose fit. So it's okay.
Once.
They rattle down the barrel. It's like I have shot a 40 and a 45. Mm-hmm. If the extractor will hold it against the breech face and get it to go off, it's not real accurate since it never actually touches the sides of the barrel other than to rattle down the barrel as it goes.
Knuckleball.
It's a knuckleball for sure. And it feels a little funny, and you're going, okay, that was stupid.
Now does that hold true with a 9 and a 40?
Yeah, you could do it with a 9 and a 40.
Kind of deal.
Same deal. Yeah.
But don't the cases split?
Yes. They're not reloadable. But you get to keep one, and you could put it on like a shelf to remind you of how stupid you are sometimes.
Will it even extract?
Oh, yeah.
It does?
It comes right out, yeah. And then you find it feels funny and sounds funny. You go, what was that? Now, which is kind of a clue. If your gun ever feels funny or sounds funny, don't pull the trigger another time. Find out what's going on, because you could have a bullet stuck in the barrel. Oh, God. So, all right, I tell you what, let's take a quick break because I want to talk a little bit more about 1911s because now we're on a roll here, and I want to get Michelle's take on it because I think she was there when John Browning invented that.
Oh!
Yes, for sure.
But I know. But among friends, you just called him JM, right?
J&B.
JMB.
What's up?
All right, back in a minute.
For tactical equipment for military, law enforcement, and shooting enthusiasts, look for the name Elite Survival Systems, creators of high-quality, intelligently designed products for concealed carry, discreet transport, and rigorous tactical uses. Elite Survival Systems knows there isn't just one method of carry that works for everyone. Elite offers a vast array of concealment products to fit your lifestyle, including holsters, belts, vests, pouches, slings, bags, backpacks, and cases. Find out more at EliteSurvival.com.
Get ready for something totally new from LMT, a short personal defense weapon with an integral suppressor. Featuring new suppressor technology from Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, the CSW, or Confined Space Weapon, has a 24-inch overall length profile and includes their new high-performance suppressor that can shoot supersonic and subsonic ammunition with no changes. Chambered for the 300 blackout, the CSW allows quick movement in tight quarters. For more, visit lmtdefense.com.
All right, we're back, and we're during the break. What do? We talk about guns. We ought to just not even take breaks. We just
talk right over the spots.
We do the same thing. It's just yakety yak. Talk about guns, the same thing. So, Michelle, with your family background, which goes back more than one generation, there's got to be at least some acquaintance with the 1911 platform.
A little bit.
Yeah, you think? So with her husband, who was at the AMU, which they probably were, was he shooting bullseye style?
He was on the service rifle team.
Okay, he's service rifle.
Yep.
So but if he's really good, he could probably use a 1911 to compete against those.
He knows how.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
1,000-yard shot with a 1911. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it could be done.
Hold a little high.
That's right.
I need more ammo.
Oh, we have lots of experience. In our family, we own a few of them as well. I'm not sure how many, but there's a few.
Probably 1911.
My mother-in-law used to compete with them.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Back before you could buy what we call a race gun, air quotes, right? Race gun. My father-in-law built her many 1911 race guns.
He gunsmithed them up for her.
Yes, he did. Yep.
That was the thing way back. You would buy basically a stock 1911. Then you would take it to a gunsmith, and then because there were really no women gunsmiths that I was aware of, would essentially start over. I mean, they would peen the slide and squeeze it and get a good fit because they were always loose and rattly. And then, new barrel, Bomar sights, Packmeyer this or that. This is going back 40, 50 years. That was the only way you were going to get a competition gun, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Nowadays, with CNC machining and everything else, and some of these guns come with tremendous triggers now, how well does a factory, a good gun, I'm not talking about cheap, but a factory good gun now, how does that compare to a race gun from 30 years ago?
I can't answer that because I don't compete in the 1911.
Probably. Well, I would say close, but again, it depends on what the race gun was. The factories are still not going to turn out a 2-pound trigger.
Right.
Okay. Just from a liability standpoint, they're
sure.
just not.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The tolerance and the throat and the chambers. I'm sure if you still have one designed, I'm sure it's probably going to exceed what is put out there on the manufacturers.
Okay,
and nothing against them because they're producing high-quality firearms.
Oh, my heavens, they're wonderful.
But right out of the box, they're tremendous, but probably still not what a race gun was 30 years ago.
Maybe not quite, but in some cases, I think they probably would be. I mean, because you can go buy a $2,500 Springfield.
National match.
It has all the stuff ready to rock and roll. And
thanks for the permission. I'm out of here.
Well, and Colt, of course, Colt being back, they brought back their 70s series pistols, and that's a big deal in the competitive world.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then you have all these, these other companies. When Ruger is making 1911s and Smith & Wesson's making 1911s, and they're really good. They're excellent pistols. And then not to mention that you got basically an entire 1911 company in Kimber. You're going, oh, man. And You're right, Jim. They're making incredible stuff with CNC. I remember being at Smith, and they told us, they said, we make all our barrels, we CNC the barrels now. Whereas it used to be like a black art to making barrels, and you had to get like 1 out of 50 became match quality. And they said, all of our barrels, every single one that comes out of a CNC machine now, are better than our match barrels used to be.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of where my question was leading.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, and of course, what that means is we can just go buy one out of the box, and it probably will shoot, honestly, as well or even better than a customized gun from 40 years ago. Right. There's a very good chance.
Yeah. And the whole plus side, of course, to the performance center side, especially at Smith & Wesson, is all of that. They have the lightweight triggers. They have everything extreme. I mean, to the extreme that you could want for a high-performance pistol from the factory.
Yep, exactly. And then, of course, we got all these 9mm coming out, and I continue to say a 9mm 1911 is one of the sweetest shooting things, period. It's just, sweet as they can be. And then these 10mm, Ruger's got a 10mm 1911. Springfield just brought out 2 10mm 1911s. How do you go wrong with that? So it's fun stuff. I'm kind of torn as to which I've got my old Kimber, the GT10 we did. But I'm looking, they've got at the TRP from Springfield, when they go to the 6-inch barrel, they always put a Target's type rear sight on it. Although, wait, I'm looking.
Do you need a drum roll or anything?
No, this is good. I may have to place an order here. You excuse me while I buy a gun. I'm looking at this and I'm just drooling all over the keyboard here because this the TRP 6-inch operator gets a rail gun, so it's got a rail on the underside, and it does have target. It's got the target sights. I really would like to have carry sights. But maybe, I don't know what I want. You know what the solution is, right?
Get them all.
There you go. Get them all.
They probably make a baby size one, and by baby size, I just mean a smaller barrel.
They've got a 5-inch, which of course is the standard size, but for us to think of it as a baby is silly. But yes, they do have a 5-inch barrel with a carry style
low profile sights.
Low profile sights.
Yeah.
And that would be sweet.
This week on Ballistic Talk, Tom discusses 10mm and 5-inch versus 4-inch and the loss of velocity.
No. People are going, more. Yeah. No, it's 40 feet per second difference. No, it's 50 feet per second difference. Oh, okay.
But with my ammo.
Yeah, that's right, with my ammo. Well, but if you pull the trigger just a little bit harder, you can get it to go faster.
If you fling the barrel as
That's right, the old Western style, right? Flip the barrel at it.
Yep.
It's got to add something to it.
Shoot around corners that way. Just twist your wrist as you...
All right, what we really want to do is do the old science experiment. So a 45 bullet is going about, between 700 and 800 feet per second. So if you could get in an airplane that was flying that fast.
Oh, my goodness.
And then you shot this gun backwards toward the rear of the gun, or of the airplane, and to a person standing on the ground, would the bullet be standing still and hanging
eventually.
In the air?
Until that plane lost its tail.
I passed math class.
Eventually, when it hits the ground and stops moving, it will be standing still. Thank you very much.
And when that plane loses its rudder and elevator...
What happened? He shot himself down.
Yeah.
Actually, we knew of guys that shot themselves down up in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, the guys who shooting wolves out of Super Cubs.
What, to shoot the prop?
Yeah, exactly.
Oops.
Boom. Okay, I think we should land now.
I think we're going to.
Whether you want to or not, this is a good time to land.
Wow.
Well, the old warplanes and stuff, the props were synchronized with the machine guns and stuff, right?
Well, eventually.
Supposedly, yeah.
But at first, when they were trying to shoot through the prop, they put metal on the back of the wooden prop, and the bullets would hit the metal and bounce off.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Before they figured out the whole interrupter synchronized prop deal to shoot through the prop, yeah.
Wow.
Is that bizarre? Yeah, I want to be the guy that's sitting back there. That's got to be weird.
Yeah.
Is that how they came up with the term for dummies? Who wants that job? Crash dummy.
No. When you're in the Russian army, you don't get to volunteer.
Oh, man.
It's just you're told, I'm sorry, you're going to do this.
That's amazing, though. I mean, I've never thought about that. Never knew that.
Yeah. See? Mm-hmm. One of those things. It's just, it's a bizarre deal. You think, really? Well, they didn't have the interrupter thing, so that, the gun would go off if you had a 2-blade prop. When the prop goes horizontal, then the gun could fire over the prop. So, and they had a deal that was worked to the camshaft or the in this case the crankshaft.
Crankshaft, yeah.
So pretty neat idea when you think about it. So of course now they put the guns out on the wings, and they don't have propellers. Oh yeah, that thing too.
Yeah, there's that.
That minor upgrade.
that little thing, yeah, no props. Okay.
How many feet per second did that add?
A ton. A bunch, that's when you go, okay, well, if he's going faster than the speed of sound, if he shoots the gun backwards to the guy on the ground, is the bullet going backwards?
Do you hear it?
Yes, it would. It would be the bullet would actually be traveling backwards.
Nerds.
We are gun geeks for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
So you're saying that we really need to get a life, is what you're saying?
Well, no. I mean, we can go anywhere we want to with the show. It's just amazing where we go sometimes.
Well, one place we do need to go to the break, though. Hear that music? Hear that music ramping up? Do you hear it?
Oh, gosh, Jim. The
music. I'm a shooter. I can't hear anything.
What?
What?
You want my ear?
You got an ear you can borrow.
Yeah, right. The big ear. That's what we called her. Michelle Big Ear.
All right, it's time for a break.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com. And now, Gun Talk for the hearing impaired.
Gun Talk for the hearing impaired.
Oh, gotcha, thanks.
Can you close caption radio? I don't know if you can do that. Oh,
they probably don't want us to.
Yeah, who wants it anyway?
Please don't. Even if you can, don't.
It's that line, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it.
Right.
That's what your mother told you, and if she didn't, she should have.
Yeah. My mother would say, "Oh, you're home again."
Nice.
My parents moved a lot, but I kept following them.
That's right. I was able to track them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually, I'm talking with a manufacturer. We're doing some experiments with 10 millimeter and barrel lengths and saying, okay, where can we go? How much do we lose if you go from a 6 to a 5 to a 4? Probably no sense in going any shorter than 4, but I'm thinking if you could do a 4-inch 1911 10, that'd be a pretty sweet carry gun.
If it sounds like Tom's got something cooking, doesn't it?
Is that the big reveal?
If you just happen to make one of these, hey, guess what we're announcing in 2 seconds?
No, I wish. But you could get a 5-inch barrel and buy like a $4 hacksaw.
Dremel tool, yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking.
For what you're...
Tom's School of Gunsmithing here.
Boy, most of that gun is really nice.
Okay, sorry. So we're working with a guy who makes really, 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 really nice 1911s. I mean, they're like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, and they're just super polished and all. We said, well, how do you make a 1911 worth $7,000? He says, you just polish it till it's worth that. So, okay, whatever, Builds like 30 guns a year.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
He's busy polishing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
What could be his polish vendor? Could make a buck off that guy.
I always figured, don't mess with guys who run belt sanders all day long because they got forearms like Popeye. You know, they were polishing guns on those big belt sanders and all. Holy cow!
Probably a couple knuckle calluses too. I would think from bumping into that thing.
Well, it's kind of a self-correcting problem if you do that.
Still got 9 left.
There goes my knuckle.
There's something to a custom gun, though.
There is something to a custom gun, is there not?
Yes. You get tolerances like you wouldn't get from an off the
So,
off the
Michelle,
shelf gun.
what custom gun do you have that you like?
Oh gosh, I have a 17 Remington that is built off of a Seiko or Sako action, however people want to say it.
Right.
That it's beautiful. I mean,
getting
it's a
emotional.
great shooter. Yeah, it's an awesome rifle that I love. That's probably my big prize.
Who did somebody in the family build that for you? Or?
Yes, that was a gift upon my graduation. Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No,
You graduated?
I know. That's the amazing part, right? But at the time, we were doing a lot of woodchuck hunting, and of course now with all the coyotes that are in our area, it's a great coyote gun too. But to take it west and do some
Now, did you
prairie
say
dog.
17 Remington?
Yeah, 17 Remington.
Okay, not an HMR.
That's what I
Right.
thought you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking if it's HMR, I'm thinking, okay, so you were a little late on the graduation thing.
So maybe I have the paper, maybe I don't.
She didn't get the gun when she got her GED, so she went back to school to get a gun. That's why.
Good.
It was a motivation.
17 Remington. There's one you don't hear much about these
No.
days.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a great varmint gun, right? I mean,
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's awesome for varmint control. Well, I tell you, it's quiet. It's very effective, and I didn't ever have to pick up parts. I just had a dead critter
blow
on the
'em
other
up.
end.
Yeah. Well, you probably, unlike on a coyote, you probably don't even get an exit, do you?
It just depends, but lots of times, no.
Okay.
And we do a lot of woodchuck hunting, and at the time, we used like 22-250, which is a cannon.
Right.
And it
compared to
blows
that.
them to smithereens.
Yes.
Well, we had to clean up, for the farmer. And, yeah, mine weren't so bad to carry.
now you have coyotes to clean up everything.
Right. Yeah.
17 Remington. We
17
had one of those. Now, does yours have a heavy bull barrel or is it a thinner barrel?
Nope, it's a tapered barrel.
Okay. Nice. So it's it's a carry varmint gun.
Yes.
how does that compare to like a 22 Win Mag?
Oh, it's much more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But
Okay.
it's like 4,000 feet per second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a little
yeah,
25 grain bullet.
It's a
And
screamer.
yet it's still quiet, you said.
Yeah, it's
Well, I mean,
mean,
relatively quiet.
right. In comparison to a 22-250.
Right.
Well, right.
And I mean, a lot of people know the 223 and they don't know anything about the 22-250. It's a major step up. It's 300-400 feet per second faster. It's a lot.
Power. But 218B, that's another one. That's a lovely little thing.
There's a nice little quiet. Now that's a throwback to a long time ago.
Yes. Yep.
'Cause that was a kind of a Pennsylvania woodchuck cartridge, as I remember, the 218B.
A lot of Pennsylvania woodchucks bought those.
Yes, they did.
Very popular amongst the
Yeah,
woodchucks.
they had to shoot back at people who had 17s.
Because a woodchuck would.
Boom. Where's a rim shot when you need it?
That's right. Put that in post.
Yeah, right.
At the wrong place.
Welcome to Gun Talk.
Okay. Yeah, the most important part of being a comedian, timing.
Right. Old standby.
Oh, gosh. Old jokes, best jokes. Actually, no, they actually never get good. They're just still old. It's like dad jokes, Mm-hmm. So they just never get better. Okay, so if you were to get, Michelle, another 1911 this year, what category? Where would you be looking?
Well, I guess the place to go would be a 9mm. Mm-hmm. And I love the Defender style gun because I like the full grip with the smaller barrel.
Yep.
So that's probably where I would have to go and what I would have to look at.
Full-size grip, but a shorter, like maybe a 4-inch.
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4-inch
Yeah.
barrel and a 9, so you'd probably have 9 rounds, maybe even 10, 9 plus 1.
If I had to go somewhere, that's what I would look at. I tell you, I love the 45. There's nothing that shoots for me like a 45, to sound like all your other callers today.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, people are intimidated by them because of how they look and because of their weight, but they're just a joy to shoot.
Yes, they are. And they don't kick nearly as much as a 40. They're more like a big push, because they don't go fast. You're looking, like I say, 750, 800 feet per second. Big old bullet just kind of loafing out there. So it doesn't come back real hard. You can actually feel, if you're attuned to it, you can feel the action working. And if you listen really carefully, what can you hear? The Star Spangled Banner.
Well played.
You're going to say something about the release or whatever. You got it.
That was a great call.
The press.
I love that call. Yeah, press.
Here's a question for you, oh wise one.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, yeah, I must be talking.
Whoever's willing to listen, usually.
Must be talking to you.
Yeah. Okay, so I can take, I don't, but I could take Xanax, I could take Adderall, I can take all that stuff.
Take it all at the same time.
I usually do. I can take oxycodone, Oxycontin, all those, and still own a gun. I may not be able to go buy another gun, but I can still own guns. Mm-hmm. But if I was to be prescribed a medical cannabis card, I stand a chance of getting my guns confiscated.
So those are all prescribed medically. Mm-hmm.
And this would
they
are narcotics. They're narcotics, right?
They're narcotics, and marijuana is not a narcotic, although it's a Schedule 1.
Well, legislatively it's a narcotic, but scientifically it is not.
Right.
This is very scientifical.
Very scientific.
Sorry.
Exactly. Speaking of leaves, magic leaves,
right. What made me think
how scientifical got started.
Right. Was the alcohol question is what made me think of it. But then the show's talking about prescribed drugs and Xanax and all these other things, Prozac, all the stuff that, and the psychotropics and stuff. You can still own a gun. They don't come and take your guns away. They may not sell you another one, but they don't come and take the ones you have. But if you're
talking about things that are mind-altering, I don't think you should be able to buy a gun if you have a cell phone.
There you go, the radiation.
Just being totally distracted and stupid.
Okay.
People who walk into traffic with their phones. So
there you go.
It doesn't make sense. To your point, though, I get what you're saying. And therein lies the problem at the moment. I think we have a situation where the law is too far behind, actuality or culture or reality. And also, you still got some folks who are still participating in the old 1930s reefer madness movie nonsense.
Right.
And
we're a bunch of jazz musicians. We're going to go out and kill people now. Okay.
Yeah, baby. Go, Daddy-O.
Right on, Daddy. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any experience with it. It was interesting to get the callers who kind of had their thoughts. The one who thought...
I don't smoke much anymore. But I got this bag of Fritos here that I'm just going through like crazy.
That's right. I'm invested in Cheetos, baby.
That's right.
That's where I'm going.
Stock move.
Every time that they go into a state and legalize it, I'm going to go buy up the Fritos and Cheetos.
There you go.
Distributorship.
See, it's usually based in money, which makes the conspiracy side of Jim instantly go, do you think Big Pharma's behind, trying to keep it illegal and, they'll be losing millions of dollars once more states adopt it and stuff. I just tend to think that
I'm afraid I can't think that deeply. I can't.
But I mean, isn't every topic boiled down to money? And who's putting up the money? So
yes.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. It's and because if you've got enough money, you can get another gun.
There
you go. Where we always end up. Buy. What's the question? Shall I buy this one or that one? Yes.
You should.
Will you guys put them on layaway for them?
Yes.
You will?
Yes.
All right. For those who are
I have 20
not
on layaway
old enough
right
to
now.
understand, explain how layaway works.
For us or just in general?
Well, for you or either one.
Well, I mean, you come into the store and you find something that you desire and want to have and don't have the cash necessarily today. We don't want your car title. We just want you to just come in and, I mean, you can make payments or pay it all off in one lump sum, but depending on, if it's...
But you'll hold it for them.
Yeah, if you want us to wait 30 days for you to be able to get the funds around, you give us, a certain amount of money down and we'll hold it for you. Come in and pay it off. And, I mean, it ties up our inventory, but,
yes.
But yes, because not everybody who comes in, I mean, you have a thought in mind, like, I'm going to spend $200-300. You get to the store and you find like, oh, well, they're actually $400 or $500, which most of them are in that variable price range,
right.
for our good quality carry guns. I mean, most of them are, I'm just going to say around that $400 threshold to enter in.
Right.
And so those people who aren't necessarily prepared but want it, yeah, we'll do a layaway.
Okay.
They don't have a problem with that.
All right, while you were talking and I wasn't listening to you.
Thank you.
I went on the Ruger website, and they have your 1911 and 9mm lightweight commander style 4 1/4 inch barrel, but with a full size grip. So it's 9 + 1, so it's 10 rounds of 9mm in your 1911.
There we go. Ruger it is.
Ruger. I'm sure everybody else probably has one. It was just the first one I Googled up here.
Well, I think that's, you talk about how much you're giving up between a 5 and a 4 inch barrel and a 4 and a 3 inch barrel. But honestly, for what we would be using it for in that sense of home defense, I don't think you're sacrificing that much to worry about it. If it was a target gun, it'd be a completely different conversation that we'd be having.
The sight radius then becomes the issue.
Right.
You get some advantage there.
Right.
You're not going to lose a lot of velocity going from 5 to 4. I will say, though, as you get shorter than 4, from a design standpoint, it becomes more difficult to make a 1911 run well and reliably.
Too small.
Because it just wasn't designed to do that. And so there are a few companies that can pull off the short barrel 1911s, but it becomes problematic for them.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of these that are 1911 style. They're not really a 1911. Like some of these 380s are 1911 style.
Lookalikes, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how they function, but it's not a to-scale type of firearm.
But see, there's a compromise. You can get a 45, get a 6-inch barrel, but get a 4-inch frame and slide. Now, there's a good look.
Okay.
Best of both worlds.
You know all those medicines he was talking about?
I'm thinking he did take them.
I did take them all simultaneously.
He's kind of feverish.
It was a science experiment.
As
He's just
they
doing
say,
it for us.
it's sick.
It's sick. And in this case, it doesn't mean good.
Picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
I do love that movie. Oh. All right, movie references. I have a friend who says men just kind of communicate in movie quotes and references.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know that surprises you. It shocks you, right? She's thinking, all the women knew that already. Because you guys can't actually carry on a conversation anyway.
Did you see that Glock? He's carrying a Beretta 92.
Hans Gruber.
What's that from?
Die Hard.
Oh, I thought, okay, I was thinking something else.
So I don't know if any good gun movies have come out recently. I have to check on that. Sometimes we get some that have a lot of good gun action in them. I mean, obviously, John Wick, I guess, would be the latest one. Have you guys see the latest John Wick, whatever it was, 2?
No, sir.
Yep. It's
you're the movie guy amongst us, remember?
It's cartoonish to an extent, but Keanu Reeves did a lot of training, and I mean, like real training, and he really knows how to run guns, seriously. And so it's cartoonish, John Woo-ish, if you will, but there's some really cool gun handling in the movie as well.
Yeah, you are our go-to guy on movies. Neither of us are big
there's a cool one that you may not have seen called Gone with the Wind.
Frankly, Tom, I don't give a damn.
Well played,
I
Jim.
just laid that one out there for you.
It's like a softball toss. How do you not smash that?
Yeah, really, exactly. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm off to go buy a 1911 again. Since I've never had one.
You're first.
I should try them out.
Well, I've never had actually one. So people say, do you own a gun? I says, nope.
Not one.
Not a gun, that's for sure.
So since you're talking about the 1911s, and we were talking a little bit on the competition side of things, have you ever shot the 38 Super?
I have not.
Me neither.
Interesting you mentioned that. I was just reading it.
Tell us what it's not like.
We can both talk about it extensively since we have no experience with it whatsoever. We can be like online guys.
Yes.
Oh, God. Or politicians. Oh!
That too.
That was Jim.
No, the 38 Super is a great round.
They compete with it still.
And actually, it is a good self-defense round. which most people are not aware of, but it's a pretty hot little number.
Is there anything produced currently, though, gun-wise?
You mean just a factory gun?
Yeah. I have to search that.
I'm searching. You go to gun broker,
Right.
and you get a old used gun. It's exactly what you get. Yeah. I don't know if anybody is making a 38 Super right now.
I don't know of anybody. In the store history, I can't think of too many that have ever come through. We've had a few, and of course they really don't last long.
You mean they fall apart?
No, I mean they disappear in a hurry. For some reason,
they sell quicker.
They're purchased and
people grab them up.
Yeah.
So the question then becomes, all right, we're going to have to. You know who will know about this?
Who?
Strangely enough,
Who?
Rob Latham.
Oh, you're going to phone a friend?
That's right.
Our go-to.
That's right.
Just give me his number on the air, and I'll call him right up
right here. I'll get him.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll pick him up in my other ear.
I don't know. We're going to look up the 38 Super. I'm not sure that people want it, but you're right. There's this small following for it out there. Mm-hmm. For a manufacturer to start cranking it out as a factory gun, I don't know. But, there may be somebody out there doing it and making limited runs or that kind of thing.
Right.
So that would be pretty cool. We will have to check that out. In the meantime, I'm thinking 10 millimeter is the way to go. And then if we can go to the... And, of course, there's the 460 Roland, which you can retrofit your 1911 for, shooting 45 Super Mags. And then there's a 450 something or other, SMC or something that Mike McNett over at Double Tap has, that you can actually shoot the same ammo in the same barrel in your 1911.
Oh, CZ.
It's basically just, if you loaded your 45 ammo super hot, way beyond public loads, yeah, there you go.
So, according to Cheaper Than Dirt, there are several 38 Supers in 1911.
Really?
Well, they're showing, I don't know if they're new or not. They're showing rock. I think they're $700. I think they're new. $1,500 for the CZ.
Okay.
So I'm guessing new.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Dan Wesson makes one.
Okay.
Oh, there's an EAA witness.
Yep.
Okay.
I see that for $785.
So, yeah, okay. So there are 38 Supers out there.
Cool.
Excellent. You know what that means?
Got to go get one.
Yep. Got an excuse to go buy something. Here's something I don't have.
Now, how would that compare to a 9?
It would be somewhere either a little bit less powerful or a little bit more powerful.
Great.
Faster.
Well, I'm thinking ammo costs and everything else. I mean,
no.
Super's going to be hard to find.
Yeah. Well, 38
So that's what I'm
Supers
saying. If they're comparable in ballistics, then you'd go the 9 for the money savings.
Right, yeah, because 38 Supers are pricey.
They're pricey, but it's a hotter load.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is hotter. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
But if you're into competition and in some of these speed guns or stages or, bullseye shooting, then...
need the power factor or something.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to be the guy that says, "Remember, I carry a 9, I carry a 45, I carry a 38 Super," everybody just stops talking. It's like, what?
You have what?
What? You could be that guy.
He is that guy anyways.
There's that. But we're not talking about the one that people keep calling the police about.
It's that guy.
And at least half of their restraining orders have expired by now.
Now, that one plays America the Beautiful, doesn't it? It doesn't play Star Spangled Banner, but close enough.
Yeah.
But who wants to listen to Kate Smith?
You know, people coming to your store, Michelle. Yeah, I want a gun that plays Star Spangled Banner in B flat.
B flat.
So if you shoot somebody with this, they'll be flat.
Yeah, they'd be flat in a minute. Oh,
But
there's an out cue if I ever heard one.
I think it's time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Next week, guys.
All right, Tom, take care.
See ya. Bye.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.